What's up, everybody? This is Action Jax, your fearless navigator to the endless depths of entertainment and pop culture. Thanks for joining me here on the very first episode of the Echo Chamber. And we're going to be talking about the new Star Wars Visions anime by Lucasfilm. And this just came out yesterday. I'm really excited to take a look at it and give you guys my first reactions. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it.
何百年も前のことよ。ジェダイいう偉大な戦士がこの星にやってきて、うちの祖先がこの宝刀を託される。その刀は常に全力で支えよう。
Man, some of this looks really good. A lot of different styles already. Nice. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I really like all the little different art styles here. I'm definitely digging the music here. This is cool. Looks like maybe we got little Boba Fett here, Slave 1. Okay, yeah, definitely some anime stuff going on here. That was cool. You know, this reminds me a lot of like the Animatrix, and I love the Animatrix, so I'm on board for that. This is like giving me shivers. This is so cool. This is so cool. Nice. That's awesome. You know, at first, like when I heard that they were going to release an anime, it's like Star Wars, I was pretty interested, but I wasn't like blown away by a lot of the stuff they'd shown so far. I was like, this looks pretty cool, but like ultimately it wasn't really going to change my mind on the way that the Star Wars universe has been playing out these last few years. So this is like an awesome new direction. Okay, so we're gonna definitely watch that again. Okay, yeah, that is some like straight up Kurosawa, like, and we obviously know that George Lucas was heavily influenced by that, so that's really cool to see. There's like a mix between like some older styles, some newer styles. We got like the Studio Ghibli kind of look too, which is really interesting. I'm glad they're doing that. You know, one thing we didn't get from the last trilogy that I wanted to see much more of is lightsaber duels. There are lightsaber duels all over this thing. And it looks fun. It just looks fun. Like I said, I'm still getting like goosebumps up and down. Some like robot boy, you know, there's like a kind of like a Kylo Ren like freeze of the blaster bolt. That's cool. Looks like we got a lot of like Sith Lords or dark side users. That's awesome. That like umbrella spinning lightsaber thing is super cool. I don't know if that would have worked in the like mainstream Star Wars universe, but I kind of hope that they're just gonna go for it here, that they're not going to like stick hard to any like canon or stuff. Normally I'm a real big stickler about that because I've invested so much time, like energy into the Star Wars universe, and I love the lore and the universe, and there's all these like rules, but I kind of just want to just see something fun. Yeah. That's awesome. Got like a force whip, like locking in. That's really awesome. Okay, so I'm super excited about this now. Yeah, wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and just like, we're gonna go like frame by frame on this for sure. You know, I've been a humongous Star Wars fan for, gosh, since I was probably like 5 or 6 years old when I like watched it for the first time on VHS. Yes, I am that old. You know, I had the original OG before they came out with the special editions, and I just watched the crap out of those. So this is like something really different. I know I was super excited for the new sequel trilogy, and you know, this is making me feel a lot like how I felt when they released the first trailer for The Force Awakens. And I was like, man, we got Star Wars back. This is so cool. So this is, like I said, like earlier, it reminds me of the Animatrix, and I absolutely, like, the Animatrix is probably the thing that kind of got me into anime. I didn't have like a traditional like background or introduction to anime. When I was like a kid, you know, there was like a couple of kids in my school that dressed up like really weird and they loved anime, and they were, you know, kind of on the outskirts and not exactly, they didn't exactly have a lot of friends. So, you know, my introduction to it was post Matrix. And when I saw the Animatrix, seeing like the Last Renaissance, or I think it was the Last Renaissance, I believe. Those two parts are like the coolest thing I had ever seen. And I just kind of started slowly working my way into it. So just a little bit of background to like where I'm at. But yeah, let's go frame by frame and take a look at this. Okay, so that cool shot that we've got here at the very beginning, I love the framing of that. I'm very interested. That really reminds me of like Japan. You know, you can definitely see, you know, the influence that they have, and that they're going for their own styles. It's I believe it's like 8 or 9 studios are all doing their own interpretation of the Star Wars universe. So I'm really excited for that. I want to see a different perspective on Star Wars, and you know, I would assume that the people that are working on these have got to be huge fans, because there's some really cool stuff in here. Okay, so you know, there's obviously the black and white, the Kurosawa. Like that is so cool. Like I really, and obviously like the framing. I come from a film background. I graduated from Chicago, from Flashpoint University, and I actually took up a directing major. So I love a lot of the framing and the use of action in this so far. Now, obviously it's a trailer, it's cut together, but I'm digging this so far. So, you know, this black and white old school style look this is going to be a lot of cool stuff in this. I can just tell. And man, it looks so good. Like there's definitely different stuff that has like more jerky, like the action stuff. You can tell that it's like lower frame rate. But then there's some of this other stuff, like when she's putting her like makeup on the side of her eyes, it looks so smooth. That's so good looking. Okay, now we've got a hand that's like dropping, looks like a kyber crystal into like a young boy's hand. Like it seems to have almost like a 3D look to it. That's pretty cool. This man, when they pull out the lightsaber out of that box, it looks so crisp. It's got like an ancient look to it, like an ancient Jedi lightsaber. That's so cool. Okay, now we get into like the dope thumping dance music with the Star Wars theme like brought in. That's awesome. I mean, I've heard some like really interesting covers in the past, and you know, they're okay. But the way that this is cut together is this is fantastic. And like pulling out the lightsaber like a samurai sword, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? You've never seen a Jedi pull it out like that before, and it's so cool looking. Okay, I gotta stop on this, because this is like some General Grievous, you know. She's like half Darth Vader, half Grievous. And it looks like she's got, okay, so she got her 2 hands, and then it looks like she's got like robot pieces coming out. So she's got like 6 lightsabers. Looks like 4 of them are like built into her like mech suit. So that's awesome. And they're like fighting on top of a Death Star out in space. That is freaking awesome. And okay, so we also have a younger Jedi it looks like kind of a Luke Skywalker looking kind of character. I wonder if they're connected. Like, because they look like maybe they're brother and sister, or they're like they know each other. Like maybe they were both Padawans or something like that, and one of them went to the dark side. So that'll be really cool. Okay, and then we also have, it looks like, I mean, you've got this like creepy, crazy old looking dude who is obviously like a Sith or just a dark side user, and it looks like he's fighting against a Padawan. There's another couple of scenes where I think you can see the Master, and I think this is his Padawan here, so that's really cool. And I wonder if he's gonna like turn him or try and turn him as like into like his apprentice, like kill the Master and have this kid join him. So I'm all for that. Okay, we have some quick shots here, some lightsaber stuff. We have like this kind of like fox-looking girl who's got the lightsabers. Yeah, that looks so good. Okay, and then we'll stop here too. It looks like batons, like lightsaber batons. That cool little like jump there. That's sweet. And okay, so now we're back to the black and white. But this is really cool. I'm getting like goosebumps still. Like it's just, this is the most excited I think I've been with Star Wars in a long time. And so you can see the red cutting through the black and white. That's such an amazing stylistic choice. You know, like they in Solo when they had Darth Maul at the end show up in the hologram and you can see his red lightsaber. That was kind of stupid, right? Because obviously we know that the holograms, for the most part, it's like, okay, they're like blue and black, you know, and to see that come through is kind of silly. But as an artistic style, this is awesome. That's gonna look so cool. Okay, and then now we also have like, it looks like he's doing like a force freeze, and we just don't get enough force power usage when it comes to lightsaber duels in the mainstream Star Wars universe. You know, like when we played Knights of the Old Republic, you could do so many cool things with like the Force user abilities, and you know, to a certain detriment in the mainstream movies, it kind of makes a lot of these characters kind of OP, or it creates a difficult scenario to film. So I'm really looking forward to them just going all out crazy and just doing tons of cool stuff. But I like that like freeze. I'm assuming like he's coming down and he just stops it there. That's awesome. Okay, this is also really cool. You know, they did this in Rogue One where they had the Death Star. I'm sorry, not the Death Star, but the Star Destroyer hanging out above the city, and that's really cool. I always liked that shot, but it never made a lot of sense. But I think in like this usage in the anime, it's like, who cares? Just do it. Let's have some fun with it. So I'm not entirely sure which project this is from, but that's just a really good shot. It looks so anime, and I love that pan up. That's awesome. I'm feeling really fanboy right now, and I have not been very happy with the last few Star Wars films. It's kind of killed like my interest in Star Wars, but I love the universe so much. Like I have been invested in it for so long, and just to see a different take, like I said, this is so cool. This is so cool. And okay, so now we're also getting to like some more fun stuff, like maybe more lighthearted. We've got like these two kids like running down the steps. You got your cool little robot in the background, very kind of Studio Ghibli looking. And I'm really excited for all the different art styles. I mean, it's kind of sound like a broken record here, but just going piece by piece, there's so much here. And that's what I loved about the Animatrix, is you had all these different studios telling these different stories. And I feel like you're gonna find as a fan, you're gonna latch on to probably a couple of these more than others, but everybody's gonna have something that they're gonna love in bits and pieces. I want to see the heart come out of some of these stories. And I would love to be moved by Star Wars. I love the fight scenes. I love lightsabers. I love force powers. But just to also tell a fun, lighthearted story would be a lot of fun, really. We've got the girl flying on her flying on her umbrella. That's really cool. And then we also get to it looks like this is part of the twin, maybe the fights, the lightsaber fight that happens later on. And we have this like voice that sounds like a computer, and this just looks really cool. I love the chroma effects that's going on here. There's some of this stuff is standing out to me, and I think this is probably one of them. We also have maybe a little more traditional. We have some guys with the cool hats on shooting the blasters. The guy stopping it with his hand. That's awesome. Probably one of my favorite parts of the sequel trilogy is like when you got Kylo Ren stopping the blaster bolt. Very cool here. I'm glad they bring that back. You know, yeah. I love the little like robots and stuff like that. It's like fun. There's like a different take on so many different ideas here. Okay, got a big robot, and okay, so this looks super cool. This like reminds me of some old like Legends style like Star Wars stories. You got the TIE fighter here with it looks like a samurai Darth Vader kind of, I mean, obviously like he was, you know, based off of that kind of design, but it's really cool to see that with like the glowing red headpiece. We do have a quick shot of like Slave 1, which looks cool. And of course, then next, you know, you're reminded of like the hallway scene with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker stopping that. It looks like, you know, the stormtroopers are from the sequel era, so I wonder if that's going to take place during that time. Okay, and then this is really cool. It's like I love the mask. There's some really like small hidden stuff in here that looks just so cool. Like you don't know what you're going to get. And then this like old man with like the red Sith eyes and the double-bladed red lightsaber. I'm just like so excited for all this. Okay, so we're at the part where the umbrella lightsaber thing is coming out here, and this is obviously a bad guy, but if you stop it before it goes too far, you can see like the face. This is this awesome mask, and the eyes on that are like so creepy. It's like the things that like nightmares are made of. So I'm really pumped to see this like black and white story play out and what they were gonna go with. Okay, so it's September 22nd. We got some chocobo looking things here. And yeah, I really dig the family stuff. You know, we all know Star Wars, it's about family, right? But to see this like more family style, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like the Studio Ghibli has this look to it that just feels so inviting, and I'm really like looking forward to, and I sound like a broken record here, but you know, I love the lightsaber battles and I love the Force stuff, but I hope that this is like a little story that we get, something fun and little lighthearted, that we can just kind of enjoy and be wrapped up in the little bits of the world that it's creating. So we've got a character that's like firing off these like rockets out of the back, taking down these stormtroopers. And this is a quick shot here, but you can see like there's like a dark silhouetted, it looks like a dark side user with the red lightsaber, but actually attacking stormtroopers and a bunch of ATSTs. Okay, we're getting back into like the prequel stuff here, which is so cool. You know, like as a kid, look, I love those movies. You know, for all their flaws, there's just so much to enjoy about those movies. And the pod racing scene is like, it's pretty awesome to this day. So it'll be cool to go back into that world on Tatooine. And yeah, like we've got this hooded female figure here. Like later on, you see her like stop the blaster bolt, but like, I'm just getting like shivers like consistently. This is like what I never knew I wanted. This is like a dream come true. I'm just gonna keep going because I'll just keep, you know, going on and on about this. But okay, and then this is probably my favorite like section, I believe, here. When you get the Star Destroyers out there, you get this pulse, and these two like Force users like fighting each other. One is like this like female Darth Vader. You know, she's got the robot suit and stuff like that. And it looks like she jams like a kyber crystal into her suit. And like, I'm wondering if that has anything to do with like the lightsabers that are like coming out of the side of her like suit or whatever. That's super cool. So it reminds me a lot of like when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of like Power Rangers. I used to love Power Rangers. And you know, whenever you needed like a boost, like you're fighting the putties, you're fighting, you know, the bad guys, and you're like, oh my God, you know, they've grown to this enormous size. We have to, you know, take it to the next level. We have to transform. And this like feels like almost like a boss battle moment where it's like, oh, her health bar just doubled, you know? And the look of just like the lightning bolts coming out and stuff. And okay, so yeah, and we stop here really quick. They show it for just a split second, but you know, you see there's like this clone tank. So I'm assuming that they're clones then. And one of them went to the light side and one went to the dark side, and like all the hooded figures, like the framing on that is so good. I love the look of that. It reminds me of the old Star Wars Legends stories, like the old comics from Dark Horse. Very cool. We get a quick shot of, okay, so it's like, this looks like a Final Fantasy, like early Final Fantasy, like 3 or something like that, big mech sword samurai badass, you know, fighting. You got this this old man, and then we got just a bunch of random shots here. We got like an R2-D2 droid, you know, plugging in. We've got some explosions, an old man shooting lightning bolts, and okay, so I didn't notice this before, but he's got a literal samurai sword lightsaber. How cool is that? You know, this is definitely not going to be canon, but like it also tells you like maybe the time frame. Like there's different stories at different times. You have stuff that seems like far in the future. You have stuff that seems like it's far in the past. And that was some of the stuff I loved about Star Wars. There's such a large universe to unpack from, and all these stories. It's like when you're a kid and you just like made up your own stuff. I love this so much. And this is a great shot too. Like the upside down traveling through warp speed. Man, I just like just the adventure. Like as a kid feeling like you're somewhere else, that you can be a part of something bigger than yourself. And this just brings out that like inner child in me right now. Just watching all of this is so great. You got a Boba Fett, it looks like. And this is really cool with like the speeder bike and the lightsabers. There's a lot to unpack from this, like bit by bit. And okay, and yeah, so this is the part that I think I am probably excited for the most. And you just see her unleashing this like just power, this like red lightning coming out, and this duel looks so cool. Like and then it like turns into these whips. It's like laser whips. Like I don't care. This is just great. Show me all of the stuff. Give me everything you got. Yeah, great first impression. This has got me beyond psyched. This is definitely something I did not know that I wanted, and fantastic on that. I'm really looking forward to all the different stories. You know, Star Wars comes from the West, and you haven't had an opportunity to really see stories told from a different perspective from like the Eastern side. And anime has gotten so popular, and I've really grown to enjoy a lot of anime. I wasn't really a huge fan back in the day, growing up, because I didn't have much of an influence. It didn't have much of an influence, and I didn't really have a lot to like go with. You know, there was only like the late night stuff on Cartoon Network that I never had because I didn't have cable when I was growing up. And just to experience this is gonna be great. So I'm speechless. You know, fantastic. I'm pumped. So yeah, this is great. I got nothing else really to say other than that. and just looking forward to it. So thank you so much for joining me here on this reactions video. This is the first time I've been in front of the camera and doing any kind of reaction video, and it's exciting and terrifying. So, you know, be easy on me here. I'm hoping to do more of these in the future and get even better at them. And yeah, if you like what I do here, I've also got some reviews. My channel is super new and I want to keep doing more and more of this stuff. So any support, you know, would be greatly appreciated. If it's a like, if you like to subscribe, that would be awesome. If you stuck around this long and you didn't like the video, then hey, I appreciate you even just staying around this long and getting to this point. So thank you for that as well. You can check me out on Twitter. Eventually, I'll have all the other stuff, Instagram, TikTok. I'd love to have a Patreon at some point in the future if there's interest. And yeah, this is the first episode of the Echo Chamber, and I want to thank you so much for being here with me. As always, I am Action Jax, your fearless navigator through the endless depths of entertainment and pop culture.